Welcome to the podcast, guys, with Rob and Nando. We are going to get into today's video, but before we do, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and we're almost there. So if you like what you see, like the video, subscribe to the channel, get us to 1,000, and you will see the surprise we have for you. It's going to be a good one. It's a way that we've thought of to enhance the podcast a little bit and to make everybody excited about our podcast. So we're here. We are here for you. As we've said before, get us to 1,000 and then some, and let's take it away with our video today. And today's episode is really not an easy topic for women to really digest. And that's because nowadays women are too masculine and they have no idea. I wouldn't say no idea, but they prefer not to act feminine. So we're going to give the ladies out there 5 ways that men expect them to be feminine. So what is the definition? The direct definition right out of the dictionary of how to be feminine, of being feminine.
The textbook definition is very simple: having qualities or an appearance traditionally associated with women or girls. Simple enough. And the example they give is wearing a dress. Wearing a dress is something traditionally done by women or girls. Okay. The reason we're going to discuss femininity today and women being feminine is because, in my opinion, that is the most powerful thing that a woman can do to absolutely maximize her attractiveness. Women don't like it when we talk about, women that are in their 30s, regardless of a woman's age, regardless of her weight, regardless of what she looks like. If a woman is feminine, she is going to be in a state that is going to maximize her attractiveness, regardless of who she is. A feminine woman is always going to be more attractive than a masculine woman. That's why we're going to talk about that today.
And the fact is that women are way too masculine, as I said before, and they need to stop being too masculine in order to have better results in a relationship. Because the thing is that, ladies out there, as much as you say that we have to be masculine because of how life presents itself, how the culture presents itself, how society works, you have to step up and be the quote-unquote man in your life. Well, when it comes to relationships, it's not going to work out. So what's one way that women can be more feminine?
So what I'm going to start with is generally, and this is, I would say, probably the most common problem with modern women now, is their general attitude, how they talk, how they act. Let's think about this for a second, right? You can either be feminine or you can be masculine, right? So let's think about how women expect men to be, right? You expect a man to be assertive, to be aggressive, to have a deep voice, to stand with a strong posture, right? Those are manly, masculine traits. So women should really look at doing the opposite. So I would expect women to speak soft, to be quieter, don't be aggressive, don't have an attitude, don't be loud, okay? So the attitude is going to be number 1 on this list, because a feminine woman shouldn't really have attitude, shouldn't be aggressive, shouldn't be loud, and they're going to be more in a more calm, quiet state, okay?
I agree with that. And to add to that, it's women that are mostly emotional, and they should really embrace that emotional depth. However, they should channel it more towards a feminine emotions rather than masculine emotions. Nowadays, you see women on any social media site or just out in the public flipping out, but they're flipping out and doing all these things in a masculine way. And that's what's a huge turnoff to guys. If you want a guy to be radiating towards you for a potential relationship, for a potential future, then you really have to channel that emotion or emotions that you have, that package of emotions that you have, towards being more feminine. Being soft, being genuine, those are all things that will help increase your feminine depth?
A woman's attitude, how she talks, her voice, it should never really mirror or come close to how a man speaks or how a man acts. Okay? Once they start mirroring how men act and how men talk, you are now stepping into a masculine frame. Okay? And like I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, once a woman becomes masculine, in my eyes, I don't really care how skinny she is. I don't care how good she looks, how perfect her hair is. She has blue eyes and blonde hair with double D's. Once you act masculine, it kills your attraction. It like, if you're a 9, you're now a 5 or a 6 just because of that masculine persona. So
A guy with a deep voice should be talking to a woman with a bit of a softer voice.
yeah.
It's just, it seems like, okay, a little bit patronizing, a little bit like I'm a little bit more of an authoritative figure towards you, but that's not really the case. It's more like play your role, right? If a man is talking normal, you're not going to raise your voice. Simple as that. So what's another way that women...
I want to say one thing in regards to that. I'm glad you said that, because feminism sold women this lie that, by women being quiet and like, stepping into their feminine frame, that's like our attempt to like somehow dumb them down or make them feel, less than. That's not true at all. And that didn't come from men. We didn't sell you that idea. That's something that feminism told them. Like, oh, don't you dare, don't let these men tell you how to act or talk because they're just trying to like dumb you down or control you. No, that's not the point at all. Listen to what we're saying. You know what I mean? Listen to the point of the message. It's the idea here isn't to control you or to put you down. It's to put you in a more feminine, attractive state.
And going into the next one, what's another way? Based off of that, what's another way that
What's next on the list? I don't have them in order.
Women being better listeners, practicing active listening. So that kind of goes hand in hand. What do you say about that?
If you've watched any podcast that has female guests on, you'll see the most masculine trait, and this happens so often, is a lot of let's just say they have like 5 guests on, right? The feminine women are usually the ones that sit there quietly, they have their legs crossed, whatever, and they're usually just listening to the whole episode. And the masculine women, of course, are bitching they're talking back, they're interrupting you the entire episode. And they do that on purpose because you have to see that contrast between what a feminine woman acts like and what a masculine woman acts like. Masculine women talk back. They don't listen to understand. They listen to talk back. They won't even let you finish your sentence. They already have something to say. Okay? Those are masculine traits.
I always say that the loudest person in the room is the weakest person in the room. And I've been through that, when I'm talking to guys and gals. The thing is that in those situations with those other podcasts that are out there and those ladies that come on those episodes, the ones that are quieter, that don't say much, that they're actively listening, are really the smarter ones and are really the ones that are taking the right steps. Of course, they should chime in. They shouldn't just be quiet the whole time, because it'll show that they're actually paying attention. If they're not chiming in and they don't know what's going on, then they're confused with the look on their face that they usually give. Then that's not going to show that they're really in it. But if they're paying attention carefully and actively listening to be able to respond properly once they're called upon, or once they're given an opportunity to speak, then it shows, wow, this woman is doing the right thing, while some of the other ladies, the few ladies that tend to make themselves the star of the show, start yapping away and arguing and yelling and just being nasty in general. Those are the losers. Those are the ones that are not thinking straight. They're in their masculine frame because they either accumulated that as, the years went by in their life, or they just decided to be masculine. I mean, you have a choice. You can either be masculine or you can truly be that feminine woman that is expected of you.
I've heard women say this so many times. Well, I know how to be submissive and I know how to act feminine in the presence of a masculine man, or I know how to be feminine in the presence of a man that I'm attracted to. And the problem with that is what you're basically doing is you're kind of catering and shape-shifting who you are to try to attract that said given guy, right? That's not true femininity, because a feminine woman is feminine always, not sometimes, not in front of a specific person, because what you're doing is you're faking it. If you're telling me that you know how to be feminine in the presence of a masculine man, then how are you the other 23 hours of the day? Who's the real you? You know what I mean? Are you just temporarily pretending to be feminine for that guy to try to attract him? And you see, women know, the reason they do that is because women know that being feminine is attractive. That's why they act that way in the presence of a masculine man or a man they're attracted to. But that's not that is just a short-term solution to a long-term problem. Feminine women are feminine always. And all of us, if anybody's watching, all of us know a woman that no matter when you run into her, she's always in a feminine state, regardless of if she's having a good day, a bad day, what day of the week it is. She's always feminine. And some women, unfortunately, are, for the most part, always masculine. So by you telling us, oh, well, I know how to temporarily turn into feminine mode in front of a man, that's not the answer. You're just faking it.
Feminine traits are being nurturing, having empathy, and really just being sensitive. And women have to embrace that if they really want to put out that they're feminine and not show this masculinity face, because when they're showing themselves being masculine, you're kind of building up a wall between you and a potential guy that, who knows, you may want to lock down, have him lock you down in a relationship, but you're not giving it the chance because you're showing your masculine presence. You're showing that you're super powerful. Your ego is sky high, and the guy sees that and he's like, well, I don't want her. I have a lot of other women that, are understanding their role and act, whether they're acting it, whether they're faking it, or actually being genuine about it. They're showing that they're feminine.
You know what I don't understand? Think about this. How much money women spend on clothing, makeup, getting their hair done, their nails done. Some of them go to the extent of getting surgeries. They spend thousands and thousands of dollars on this stuff to look a certain way. Why wouldn't you want to maximize on that and just add to it by being feminine? You could do all those things I just mentioned and spend all this money on perfume and clothes and getting your hair dyed and all that stuff, eyelashes. But the moment you open your mouth, you're a loud, bitchy, aggressive woman. It kills the entire thing.
Well, that's where the next way of being feminine comes in. When it comes to relationships and women, acting that way within the relationship, they should divert themselves to going to a more nurturing type of emotion. You have to really nurture the relationship and not be so nasty, not be so manly, because guys don't like that. And that's a way to push guys away. If you show that, hey, I'm the woman, whether the guy is being masculine or not, you show that you're the woman and you're staying within your role, at least you're doing the right thing, whether the guy is at fault or not, because there's all this blame that, oh, well, he's not acting masculine, so I have to be masculine. I have to take that role. I have to yell and scream and be this strong woman. If you show him your role, that could set him up where, okay, I've got to be the man. I've got to lead this relationship. Of course, you tell him, you communicate that with him. Communication is key in any relationship. But you do it by nurturing the relationship, by soothing your way into this feminine role that you may not have been in. You may not feel that I should be this feminine woman because this guy's not acting the way he's supposed to be as a man. He has to be a man. He has to step up. He has to be assertive. He has to be confident. I can't do all these things for him, so I have to step up and do it. It's not the case. You play your role and you tell the guy that, hey, in your feminine way of communicating, that he has to play the role of the masculine man. Or else you have all the right to be like, hey, I'm going to go off with someone else. I'm going to go find another guy. So, there's an understanding here. But you can't just be acting all the time manly, masculine, and expect the guy to respect that, because he's not. He's just going to run away.
Women always complain that, men are so shallow because all we care about is their looks. And they kind of paint men with this brush, like, all men care about is looks, and we're so shallow because all we care about is their external appearance. And that is not true. We're telling you right now. Looks are very important. Of course, looks is probably the first thing we look at, right? Overall, like how her face looks, is she attractive, her body.
It's just a start.
But that's just the start. That's like within the first minute, right? What initially is going to get the guy's interest to look at you and consider talking to you, right? But once that guy gets to know you and goes on a date with you and has a conversation with you, you go into kind of the next phase. You're kind of reading who is she? How is she? How does she act? You're trying to visualize. And women do it too, right? When you go on a date, women are also going through their processes and trying to figure out what this guy's about. How the woman acts is huge. I think it overpowers, at the end of the day, it overpowers her looks because, like I said, I don't care how attractive you are. Once you have that masculine, modern, boss babe, bitchy attitude, I'm telling you, guys don't want that shit. I can't make that clear enough.
And guys, comment below if you agree with what I'm about to say. Do you want a woman just based on her looks? Or do you want, you might not get the full, but do you want the full package? Do you expect the full package?
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
Comment below and let us know, which one do you prefer? Is it just looks, or is it looks and everything else? Because if you're saying just looks, I'm going to tell you right now that I would rethink that. Because, a lot of women have the looks, or they set themselves up with the looks, with the fake eyelashes, with the hair extensions, with the fake implants, with all the makeup in the world. They might not even look good without all that.
Look, externally, women, like I said, they spend all this money and they put all this effort into looking feminine. That's essentially what they're doing, right? They're not getting their nails painted and their hair done to look masculine. So why wouldn't you go the extra step and complete the package by acting feminine? It's it goes hand in hand. You're going out of your way to look feminine, so you should go out of your way to, women should honestly naturally be, I believe that women are in their natural form or in a feminine state. I think the reason so many women are acting masculine is because they've been kind of pushed in that direction. Feminism and all these movements kind of taught these women, they're mimicking each other, right? They even imitate people like Cardi B, and they put on this persona, and I think it's fake. I don't think that's really them. And women are just they put on that masculine persona to play this boss bitch, babe, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's huge. You should consider what we're saying and match the feminine looks and have the feminine personality.
At the end of the day, it's an excuse. If you want to make excuses for somebody else's actions, that's on you. But you can change yourself. You can control yourself. You can adapt yourself to being feminine and disregarding that masculine role. Maybe you've had that role since, you were 20 in college. Great. Now you're 38 and single. You were married. You're divorced now. How has it worked for you? How has it worked? Has it actually worked? Have you tried to be feminine? Maybe you did and then you stopped. You never stop being feminine if you want to attract the best guy. It's plain and simple. And, there's a lot of women, again, breaking down, having meltdowns online about why relationships aren't working. These are the reasons why. And, another way to be more feminine is if women are doing more womanly activities.
Oh, good one. Yes.
And those are the things that we don't see as often as we should. What are some activities that women could?
I'm glad you brought this up because I've noticed this, especially on Instagram. As I scroll through my Instagram, I'm starting to see, and I don't know what the cause of it is or where this is coming from, but I'm noticing that women are starting to take on more manly hobbies and activities. I'm seeing more and more women getting tattoos. I'm seeing women drive motorcycles. I'm seeing women shoot guns. And I'm just all of these would be awesome, attractive traits for a man. But like, whatever happened to women doing just like female activities? You know what I mean? And I'm not just saying cooking and cleaning, like anything else, right? There's plenty of things you could do that are feminine, but I'm noticing it that they're doing more manly activities. I don't know why.
Yoga would work as a feminine activity.
Perfect example.
Pilates,
100%.
you know, dancing. Those things are more women roles,
Without a doubt.
womanly activities. And if women did that more and more, I mean, you know, you're going to pull guys in. It's just going to bring guys in.
Plus yoga pants, come on.
They can't lose with that, right? That's a look right there. That's something.
The Lululemons keep wearing those.
That's going to reel a guy in. You know, that's going to just, hey, he's going to come and say hello. But if you're out just, you know, worrying about shooting a basketball, which is fine, you know, there's nothing against that. But the thing is that it's not a guy's calling. A guy's not going to run over and be like, oh, hey, you know, how are you? I really like you. You know, how you shot that 3-pointer.
To put it in perspective, imagine if like a woman got to know you and you tell her like, yeah, my hobbies are like, you know, gardening. I like getting my nails done. I like doing Pilates. She would be like, what the hell? Like, you know, like these aren't manly activities at all.
That's what I'm saying. Women would hear that from guys doing those womanly activities, and they're going to be like, well, this guy's feminine. What the hell? Well, I'm not going to deal with this guy at all. I don't even want to talk to him. I'm disgusted by him.
You get what I'm saying? And that's why I said in the beginning of this episode is like women should really it should really be the opposite of what men are doing. I don't know about you. I don't want a woman with tattoos that shoots guns and smokes cigars and lifts weights. Like, what the hell? Like, where did this come from? I don't understand.
That's why another way that women can be more feminine is by educating themselves and becoming more feminine. And, you know, one way you're educating yourself is by watching our episode right here. So again, don't forget to subscribe, get us to 1,000. Educate yourself so you can have those behaviors and characteristics of a feminine woman, right? We're giving you the blueprint here. We're telling you what guys want. We're telling you what your boyfriend or your husband or your man can't tell you because you'll get upset at him for that. He's going to tell you to do more womanly things around the house. And you're going to be, what?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be upset. You're going to argue with him. You know, what's to expect from that? Nothing good. Nothing good is to be expected from a man kind of putting you in your place, as he should. Because women doing these manly things, again, I've said it already probably 7 or 8 times on the show. No guy is going to want to come in your direction. It's just a fact. He's going to be attracted to a woman that's wifey material. Maybe he doesn't want to wife her up, but at least that'll reel him in. And who knows? Maybe he'll change his mind. You know, there's guys that don't want to get married. I don't blame them because, again, don't advocate for it here because there's no benefit for marriage, you know, for men at all. So
we always talk about women that have like extremely high standards nowadays, and that's one of the major complaints from the male side in general with dating. Any woman that has extremely high standards, being as feminine as possible should be number one on the list. If you're one of these women that has extremely high standards, you're expecting like a tall, masculine, successful man, being feminine is a must. That is like number one.
What can they do? They can share their feelings. They can be vulnerable. They can create a safe space for them and their partner to, you know, for the man to show his masculine feelings and the woman to show her feminine feelings. We're laying it out to you on a silver platter here, folks, especially the ladies. Understand where men are coming from. We don't want you acting like a man because men that are interested in women don't want to date men, if I can be, you know, say it nicely, put it nicely. It's just what it is. It's what it is. And, women can really win with that. They can win the battle of, why can't I get a relationship? Why can't I get that guy? Why isn't any guy asking me out?
I think there's a really big, now that we discussed it, there's like a big blind spot. I think women are kind of missing this area, They're so focused on like career and finances and, being a boss babe. And, a lot of them are in shape. They look good physically. They're attractive physically. But this is the part that they're missing. And this is like the missing link.
And women can be assertive as a feminine woman. Stand your ground, but do it nicely. Do it in a more sensitive way. Don't be so aggressive, because guys don't like that shit.
Exactly. And that's why the idea here is not to put women down or to try to control them or to try to back them into their corner or something like that. We're not here to tell women what to do. We're just simply telling you, this is from a male point of view. This is how you can make yourself more attractive, because there's unfortunately a growing amount of masculine women nowadays. And it's like, so
you'll win if you express yourself with empathy, with grace, with calmness, and guys will love that. There's what's not to love about that. And that's part of communication. That's part of having proper behaviors.
Women that are looking for something long-term, that struggle with, we just did a reaction video. This woman was complaining that she's having a hard time getting like a long-term relationship. Being a quiet, calm person is going to do numbers for you when it comes to dating. Because when a man sees that he can be with you long-term and you bring you're a calm, peaceful person, he's more likely to stay with you.
Women can, just to conclude, women can really change their life, just to put it down, put the nail in the coffin, by embracing it and putting all the energies and behaviors together in a feminine way, organizing it and setting them up so they can have a successful feminine life. So, guys, don't forget, get us to 1,000, subscribe to the channel, and we appreciate your support. We'll see you next time. Peace.